Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel and another day of this Kansas stay-at-home order. It's day 3, and I'm sure people are going to be asking eventually, why are you making videos in your vehicle every time you're making a video? You're traveling, and that's not staying at home. Well, you're right, but I have daycare still, and thankfully, I try to utilize my days off where my kid is at daycare in an intelligent way to obviously limit my kids' exposure, my daycare provider's exposure, and my exposure to the outside world during these times. So in that sense, our days are normal. We're not going out and about and doing what we normally would. But there's a couple of things that I want to hit on from the video from yesterday that I had a friend make a post, and it's downright hit the nail on the head. So I was talking about a podcast I was listening to, and they had a doctor on, and she was saying that this is basically going to create a whole new world in the sense of mental health requirements. And I can see it coming completely head on right now. And I think it was Ben Shapiro yesterday, or within the last couple of days, he put out he was on a talk show or something, and he basically compared this pandemic to World War II. And a lot of people are upset as to why he compared the two in the way he did. And I can see why they're upset, because this is in no way, shape, or form comparable to World War II and what the young men put themselves, or had to put themselves through. They were thrown into the middle of hell, and a lot of those guys lost their lives, and a lot of them came back with balls that are bigger than the ones that are in your wife's purse. So, saying that, I do feel like we can compare this to World War II in the sense of that we are the wartime effort, where back in the day, every company that was out and about that manufactured something stopped what they were doing to help manufacture something to better our society. That's kind of where you got, ma and pop shops, JCPenney, Sears, Roebuck, and a lot of those other, stores creating things that you would never see them create before. And we're doing that now. Ford, GM, My Pillow, they're making ventilators, they're making respirators, N95 masks. That sounds like a wartime effort right there. Even though we're not at a physical war with another nation, more or less, comparing it to World War II. So I can see why there's a comparison there in that sense. Overall, I don't think it's anywhere similar to that, but I digress. But anyways, yeah, the doctor I was talking about yesterday, she was saying how this is going to create a new world in relation to mental health needs in our society. And I completely agree. We have grown so dependent upon social media and socializing out and about that this is affecting a lot of people in many ways. They're not going to be able to go see their friends. They're not going to be able to go out on dinner dates or just go out in restaurants in general, spend some money, go shopping. And I think that's the start of the downfall of our small society, if we don't get it under control. Because now we're going to have a whole new group of people who are suffering from not being able to communicate with their friends and go out for dinner and stuff. And we'll get through it. We will get through it. But there's going to be a lot of disheartening about it. It's going to suck. I have a friend who posted on his personal Facebook page. We went to high school together, grew up together, and he put it in really good terms. We need to understand the term social distancing is wrong. We need to get rid of that. we need to understand it's not a social distance thing, because you can get on your phone, you can call people, you can FaceTime people, you can still yell across the road to your neighbor and enjoy a good conversation. What we need to understand is it's a physical distancing that we need to understand. Social distancing is going to lead to the downfall and the increase of the mental health. People are going to, become depressed, and they're going to need the help that we don't have the resources right now to provide. Physical distancing, guys, it's not social distancing, it's physical distancing. That's why you separate yourself with 6 feet. That's a physical distance, not a social distance. I don't care about the person in front of me. I'm not going to socialize with them. I'm going to physically separate myself, not socially separate myself. And that's the big difference. And another thing I was discussing with this individual was, we need to get rid of the order, the word order. Blah, 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 order. I do not take orders from anyone. I am not in the military. My governor is not my commander. If I was, I would work for the government. Now, if I was to be requested by my employer to say, hey, you know what? We'd really like you to stay home today, just to kind of eliminate the possible spread of this virus. Not that you have it, but just kind of cut down on the people in the building. That's a request, not an order. I would be so much more responsive to a request and put a good reasoning behind it. So you know what? Well, we're experiencing a never before seen virus in our lifetime. We don't know anything about it. I'd really request the general public to stay home and to give more research into it and more education in general. Stay home. That way we can tell you what's next. But you order a person to do something and you take away their rights, they are less responsive to your request. Now, I saw a meme, which I shared it on Instagram, so if you're ever on Instagram, check it out, talking about the Constitution and what the Constitution says. Yet, we have the Bill of Rights, and the government has literally started to remove words in those rights. And it's sad that people are they're just bending over and they're taking it as if it's all right, it's okay. We'll get back to normal. In that sense, if you give up your rights, you're never going to get them back. How many times in history have we gained something and never lost it? Patriot Act, we gained that. The NSA, the ATF, TSA. There's so many different organizations that the government has created for our safety that aren't even needed because the general populace aren't trusted, through their words, to be able to do it ourselves. All reactions to issues that could be fixed. Now, I know that's argumentative. You can always argue the opposite to that, but it's fine. Oh, one more thing that a lot of people aren't even paying attention to, and I think this is going to lead to something very big soon, guys. I saw a report that said, well, Kansas overall, we got a D. We got a D on social distancing. The more rural areas of the state, western Kansas, the places where there's only like a few thousand people in 100 square miles, they got like a B minus on their social distancing. But there is a company out there who is tracking cell phone use. Cell phones being driven back and forth. You know, going from point A to point B within a town, and then point B to point A to point C to point F, whatever it be, you know, all over the place. Yeah, they're tracking that. That's kind of scary. We all know that the government's tracking us, but now they have come out and said, "Hey, guess what? We're tracking you." And then again, there's a whole new group of people who are allowing that to happen, and they're okay with it. So, like I said, I feel like something big is coming. Something, not just in relation to this coronavirus, but something big is just gonna go off soon, and I'm scared for it. Because we don't know what it is and how it's gonna affect us. I don't know, I digress. Anyways, keep calm and carry on, guys. Stay safe. Thanks for tuning in and watching. See you later.